We're live.
Yes, we are.
What's going on YouTube?
Hey everybody, Marissa here with you today, and we have a very exciting topic today. We'll be talking about 7 legit ways to make money online and other passive income ideas. And I have some very, very, very special guests with me today, Carmen and Darius Britt, and they have the YouTube channel Wealth Nation, and I'll talk more about them in a second. But thank you guys for being here today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yes, happy Sunday. I'm excited to dive into the topics today.
Yes, absolutely. So in today's topic, in today's video, we thought it was important to, especially during the times of COVID-19, and I think that one thing our pandemic has taught us is to have some type of form of online income stream and passive income stream. And so we're going to be going over so many ways to do that today. And in light of the Black Lives Matter movement and everything that's been going on this week with, fighting, racism, unjust racism that exists in our country, we thought it would be an amazing idea to highlight Black CEOs, entrepreneurs, creators, business owners, and talk about their journey, their expertise, and how they've built some of their income streams. So making money online, there's so many different business models and ways. And, when we talk about passive income, I think the goal for all of us is to basically have our income streams exceed our expenses and keep growing, like having that revenue line and profit line go way, way higher on the graph, and just having our fixed costs kind of stay the same as much as possible. That's kind of the goal we're aiming for here, right?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Are we live on YouTube?
It says live for 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, cool.
I guess it takes some time for people to come in.
Yeah.
Here, I'll check on my feed. We're working this StreamYard out.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It is live.
Sweet.
Okay, so we'll continue to go to keep talking. So, so I wanted to again introduce Carmen and Darius Britt. They are let me pull up the banner. Oh no, I forgot to. See, guys, you know what? This is the first live with the new software, and forgive me for making these rookie mistakes. But there's the title of our video today: 7 legit ways to make money online and earn passive income, in a special episode in light of Black Lives Matter. So let me pull up the superstars of the show today, Carmen and Darius Britt, who are experts with building wealth, with infinite banking, with so many things. And I've personally learned so much from them in regards to like good money habits, passive income, saving money, being smart and strategizing on how to pay off my massive credit card debt. And another thing is go ahead and check out their channel and subscribe to their channel. I'll leave the link in the description, but they just crossed 10,000 subscribers today. They smashed 10,000 subscribers. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's an amazing milestone. And if anything, we're just so excited to be able to share this moment with you because we're on YouTube because of you. You were the main reason why we got on YouTube, and you've been such support throughout the whole journey. So thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Why don't we go into kind of the first topic that we really wanted to dive into, because I know that you guys are insurance agents, and so could you tell the audience how infinite banking and how becoming your own banker is a very powerful way to, one, get passive income and just build generational wealth?
Yeah. So what I think the main thing that we want to convey to the audience today is that there are so many ways that you can protect your money, that you can make money, that you can create passive income, like you said. You just have to be open to understanding the world of money and how the money game is played. And so for us, we just happen to sell insurance, but we don't use insurance in the traditional standards of what we assume people to use insurance, life insurance, for example. So typically we're thought to just buy life insurance in case we were to pass, to cover our loved ones when we're gone. But really we're leveraging life insurance to create a banking system or a place to house our savings that grows at a guaranteed rate. And it's something that we can hold on to for our entire lives. Mm-hmm. And so just through using insurance, you're able to leverage that savings to invest, to create passive income, to do whatever it is that you want to do. But again, it's just about being open-minded and realizing that there's other things that you can do besides just keeping your money in the bank, mm-hmm. which is what we're typically taught to do.
Right. And another thing I would say is, as we go through this video, what we're going to do is just start identifying where you can copy other successful people or other successful businesses and start applying those things in your own life on your own scale. And that's how you really generate passive income. Mm-hmm. Because, for example, we are big proponents of life insurance, whole life insurance, because that's what the banks are, the largest purchasers of whole life insurance. So in the success of banks are very successful. Would you agree? Yeah, they're very successful. So why not copy what other successful people do? So as we go through some of these people, you may look at them and be like, oh my gosh, they're worth $1 billion. Well, what can we get from their story and their experience and apply it on our own scales?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all about not reinventing the wheel and just taking a note from everyone's chapter. So I'm excited to have this talk today, because sometimes I feel people just overcomplicate the process of, well, what do I do? And especially now with COVID, a lot of people, unemployment is out of this world. And, a lot of people are just looking at options of just, what do I do? But not realizing that we all possess specific knowledge and skill sets that we were able to monetize through our employer. So why not leverage those assets to do something and to make money from it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Absolutely. And can you talk about the compound interest piece of having a whole life insurance policy, and how that having your money in there is, far beyond more powerful than just a regular savings account? Because you had mentioned, it taking replacing basically having a normal savings account.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, compound interest is when you earn, let's say year one, you earn interest on, let's say $1,000. And then the following year, you earn interest on that $1,000 plus the interest from the year before. So you earn interest on top of interest.
Yeah.
So compounding only works whenever you have money sitting in a certain place where you can compound that interest on top of each other. Mm-hmm. Now, there are a variety of places where we can earn compound interest, but in order to earn it, we have to leave it sitting.
Yeah. So to that point, if the money is not sitting and you happen to touch the stash, now the compounding effects start all over. So that's why some people don't realize with a savings account, or maybe with some of your investments, your money has to sit there. Mm-hmm. And if you touch any of those funds, the compounding starts all over. So we end up like building this amazing fund system, and then we deplete it, and then we build it up, and then we deplete it. So the reason why we use whole life insurance is because whatever money we put into a policy, regardless if we touch it or we don't, we still earn the compound interest. Mm-hmm. So that's the most powerful thing about this tool, is realizing that you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, so it's really the power of leverage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I love that because it's it could be used as like a debt tool. As I'm almost done paying off my debt. I have a policy, and I do plan to get another one. But then after that, when you're done, it could really be a true wealth building tool.
Now we move on to cash flow.
And we move on to cash flow. That's right. So let's see. I know we got a big lineup today of what we want to talk about. what do you think of moving on to one of the first people in the lineup?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, sweet. So with passive income, somebody that I've always looked up to is a man named Jermaine Griggs. And Jermaine is her. I could share my screen real quick and show a picture. Jermaine, in the beginning of my career, where is it? Has always been, this is Jermaine right here. He's always been, back when I started my digital nomad thing, you know, when I moved to Thailand and sold everything, I was still kind of dabbling with e-commerce, but Jermaine, that's how I met Jermaine online, was back in the day. But he's pretty much he's the founder of Automation Clinic. He's the most sought after sales and automation expert. He's got 20 years of experience. So he's been online since like 2000, basically. And here's like all the people that have supported his products and his services and his expertise. And it's cool because he's kind of like a superstar marketer. He's been named Infusionsoft Best Marketer of the Year award. He's been to the White House and been recognized by the president. He's spoken all over the world. And just recently, in 2018 and 19, he kind of did his own digital nomad thing and started a brand with his family called Griggs Gone Global. And they traveled to 36 countries as a family with their 3 kids. And what's really cool about him is that he really focuses on the automation piece in your business and really making sure that you have those proper sales funnels in place, because you know, without the automation piece and without having sales funnels in your business, you become kind of a slave to your business, and you can't not work in your business. And you always have to have a hand in there. And so he kind of proved just completely that when he took like a year off and they homeschooled the kids around the world, like he probably barely touched his business. And they have an Instagram page called Griggs Gone Global, but yeah, he really is a superstar when it comes to Automation Clinic. I'm sorry, when it comes to automation and sales funnels. And this is his brand, Automation Clinic. You can check out his website. But yeah, I love this because how do I stop sharing?
There you go.
We're back. Okay.
Yeah, we're back.
One thing I forgot to mention about Jermaine was one of his first products. He's the founder of this company called Hear and Play. Yeah, Hear and Play, which is a product about teaching music, like all kinds of different varieties of music. And back in the day, like I said, I think he says he started with like $70 living in his grandma's basement, and he grossed well over 8 figures with that Hear and Play product. And this was back in the early 2000s when I was still in high school and the internet was, it was like no one knew about digital products. I was barely doing research on Wikipedia for my essays in high school. Mm-hmm. Right. And this guy, is grossing 8 figures in his online business when no one knows about online business. So I think it's super important. I know we both have, automation in our businesses, such as webinars, such as sales funnels that automatically do the heavy lifting for client acquisition, for selling digital products. You guys with, you guys have your merch store and so many things. And for you guys have clients and an onboarding process. So yeah.
But you're right. You made the best point ever, which is automation is key for business, mm-hmm. especially these days in this digital world, because we very much in the beginning stages of building our business online, we're slave to our business. Mm-hmm. And thank God for all of these amazing digital tools where it can do all of the heavy lifting for us and allow us to stay in our genius zone, which is creating content and providing value, and we're not worrying about all the tech stuff in the background.
Yeah, and as you were talking about Jermaine, you talked about the early 2000s when we were in high school, and you were saying,
seems so long.
Yeah, it seems so long ago, but when we look back at that, we see how far we've come. From, you know, going to, the only access we had to computers were in school was going to computer labs.
Yep.
So now we have just as much power on our cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
So we've come a very long way in a short period of time to where some of those things that we have access to immediately.
Yeah.
We don't have to put forth really the effort to go to the computer lab and do our school projects or try to identify a way of making money online. Now it's
the library. Who goes to the library?
And now it's like we almost don't have a choice.
Right, exactly. It really is incredible how far we have come, and to think about those accomplishments back then. It's really mind blowing. So, yeah, he probably spent like 0 hours on his business when they were in like Thailand and Africa, like everywhere. They went everywhere. I was following their journey.
That's so inspiring to see.
Yeah. So. And let's see, I'll go ahead. A woman that I wanted to highlight, her name is Kathryn Finney. She's a builder, creator, futurist, and founder of Digitalundivided. So I'll go ahead and show her picture. And Kathryn let me see, here she is. This is Kathryn. And her main goal, she founded a nonprofit organization company called Digitalundivided. She's been named by Inc. magazine one of the most influential women in tech. And I think why Kathryn caught my attention is because I'm an engineer. I'm a civil engineer. I know Darius, you're an industrial engineer. My sister is in the science space. She's a microbiologist, and my little sister, she's going to go to college for biomedical engineering. And so when I saw this, I was like, this is awesome, because she was also a guru back in 2003 when she started this super profitable blog called Budget Fashionista. She's since built it up and sold it a long time ago for a lot of money. But the cool thing about her company is that they basically are trying to merge tech and entrepreneurship together for Black and Latina women, right? And so what she's doing is taking skill sets of all different types of areas of tech, like science, engineering. And if you go on, check out their website, you can see different case studies here. Like there's this one I saw about blockchain, using blockchain to disrupt the music industry. So it's really fascinating, these different startup businesses that these women in tech are doing, and things that they've done and accomplished with this company called Digitalundivided.
Yeah.
And her, Kathryn, she after she graduated with her undergrad, I think she went back to Yale and she got her her graduate degree in epidemiology. So she's just killing it like all across the board. But I know. And so her goal, what did I have written down? It's an organization that uses data to create systems change through innovation and entrepreneurship. And because she saw like the patterns of who were the faces in tech. And of course it was middle-aged white men. And so for her, it was really important to teach and help the women, the minority women to really succeed, because her thoughts were, if you don't see it, you can't really relate to it. So like when you don't see successful people that look like you in your field, it's kind of hard to break through that barrier and really believe that you can do it. So that's her mission, is kind of like pattern interrupts and not sticking with the pattern of who were dominating in the field of tech. So you can check out her website and also this page to read more about about these successful women in business and in tech. So
yeah, and what's interesting about her story is the fact that she found a niche. She found a
Mhm.
niche in the technology space for minority women, and through the usage of her background in technology. So that's one opportunity that we can all relate to. That you find niches wherever you are. There's riches and niches, and once you do find that niche, you can start creating spinoffs. Because she started with blogging, right? She started with blogging, sold her in budgeting, and she sold her blog for a huge amount, 8-figure amount. And then she created spinoffs from what she was originally doing or what she started.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible, super inspiring. And the next person I wanted to highlight is someone, his name's Jabril Aguro. Jabril has had a direct impact on my life. He's the reason that I'm here in Medellin. Honestly, I'm in Medellin, Colombia.
Sweet.
And his video. So, okay, let me back up. Jabril is like kind of one of the gods of Facebook ads. He's so good at Facebook ads. That's one of his expertises. Is he's helped thousands of students generate paid advertising to their products, their courses, their services. And generate income with paid ads. But also, Jabril has a passion for travel and being a nomad, because Jabril started being a nomad. Let's see, what are we, 2020? I think he started back when nobody was being a nomad, back like probably in 2013, if I remember correctly. But he started Passport Heavy how many years ago? 4 years ago? 4 years ago. So he really has a passion for highlighting the best places to live as a digital nomad. And he's been able, obviously, to crush it, have a mobile business where he's able to operate his business from wherever he wants in the world with just his laptop and an internet connection. And so he's highlighted all the major cities he's been to. And every place that I predetermined that I wanted to go, like Bangkok and Phuket, Thailand, I found a video that he's made. So he started this brand called Passport Heavy, and they have different travel guides and to-dos and what not to do's and different things to do in that particular city. And so it's really phenomenal, this brand that he's built. And they're really like super, super, super high quality videos. Like, where's the one on Medellin? I think this video on Medellin, it was amazing. I was like, oh my God, I need to go to Medellin. So I came to Medellin after I was in Southeast Asia. So he kind of was the forefront and the face of digital nomadism. I mean, he's so much more than that. Like, so many marketers look up to Jabril for his expertise in Facebook ads. He's done collaborations and created products with some of the biggest names in our industry. And so, I've really always admired Jabril and the brands, especially this brand that he's built. I think it's really awesome. So, because he has he's obviously not traveling right now, but when he was traveling full time, he had an entire crew with him. He had like a camera person, an editor, his videography team, and it was really cool to watch his journey. I think he's settled down, I think in New York. I can't remember which state, but he's kind of settled down for a while, but still wants to continue to travel and highlight different places around the world for people that are really interested in the freedom, or not freedom, but location independence. I think one of the main goals of online business is to be free of not having to be in one spot. So, Jermaine really, he inspired a lot of that in our community, because we may not want to travel the world and hop around different countries, but if you want to just live somewhere else for a month or 2 or 3 and pack up and go, you can do that. And that's kind of the whole point of having your business based online and having residual automated income coming in every single month.
Yeah. And even if travel isn't your thing, it's just about having freedom of time, really, because I think we're just always taught that you got to work 40 plus hours a week in order to consider yourself successful or whatever it is. But really, in the digital world, that's changing the game. And, people can run multi-million-dollar businesses with maybe less than 10 hours a week because of the world of automation. So I love all the people that you highlighted, because again, it speaks to kind of COVID and where we are, and realizing the millions of opportunities that you have to create income for yourself.
Yeah, and really building digital assets. Because I know a lot of times when people think of investments in opportunities to make money or passive income, they think of real estate. Real estate, you can build a house up, find a house, fix a house, build it up, and generate $1,000 a month. But you can also do that same thing online in the privacy of your own home with your laptop.
Yeah.
It works the exact same way. You find something that you're passionate about, you get online, you build it up, and then you get a monthly income or passive income off of that asset that you've created. No different than creating an asset through real estate.
Or a hard asset.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. So do you guys want to start with your guys'
Sure.
incredible list of people? Okay.
Yeah. So what we did is we really enjoyed the list that you went through from people that we can really identify with.
Yeah,
but there's also people who you can identify with through their stories. Like, for example,
Nas is one of the first people that we want to speak about, because we're going to go a little bit more in the pop culture realm with our list. But the reason why we want to talk about some of these people first and foremost is when we think about pop culture, and especially coming from our line of work. So when we're teaching go-getters and entrepreneurs how to create financial freedom, we want to make sure that everyone is in tune with what's going on and what you can control. Because now, in the digital world, unfortunately, we can tend to just believe that everything that we see on Instagram is legit and that, everyone's wheeling and dealing and making a ton of money. But what we wanted to do is highlight some entertainers that you may or may not know, some of the things that they're doing, because it's important for you to realize, like Nas, for example, he was a successful rapper back in the day, and we haven't heard from him and don't really know necessarily what he's doing, but that doesn't mean that he's dropped off, if that makes sense. So we were just having this discussion with my brother, and he brought us to the attention, what Nas is doing, because he researches the investments that he does. And we were like, what? That's amazing. So when we're talking about pop culture, famous musicians, entertainers, influencers, and I'm looking at this list here just so that you guys know what I'm looking at, that they're not just sitting back and collecting royalties. They realize that they also have to as aggressively create cash flow in order to create passive income, just like any other investor would. So you'll find with this list, a lot of these individuals are making more money in their investments than their typical craft that we know. So Nas, for example, he is the founding member of Queensbridge Venture Partners. And really the amazing thing to know is, I don't know if you guys know this, this blew my mind. So Nas has invested in Dropbox. Do we know what Dropbox is? It's the online storage facility for you to house your files. Oh, yeah. Any business owners probably use Dropbox, business owners or just people to hold their personal files. Ring. We know that smart Ring technology, your doorbell, you hit the doorbell, a camera pops up, and you can see whomever's in front of your front door, regardless if you're home or not. So you'll see, a lot of times people can track their Amazon packages or see who left a package at the door or something was stolen at their door just from this doorbell that has a camera on it.
Yeah, and just the idea in February 2018, Nas was an investor in this company, but Amazon bought this for $1.1 billion. So that was a huge come up for someone who has a background or
is a rapper.
A rapper.
Now, not to say anything that's not a negative connotation towards rappers, but again, we have to think of these stereotypes. You know, sometimes people have to put on these certain personas, but really they may be money focused and money oriented and really understand how to flip money. And that's exactly what Nas is doing. So, you know, somebody may have laughed at him and said, oh, you're investing in doorbell technology. Well, he's laughing all the way to the bank because Amazon, like Darius said, bought it for $1.1 billion.
Yeah, he had another investment in PillPack. PillPack is basically just a simple little package where they put your pills together.
Yeah.
And he was an investment with this company, and in April of 2018, the same year, Walmart purchased it for $1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah. Check out PillPack. We didn't know anything about PillPack. And so I created an account and like, let me see what this is about. But it's basically automating your prescriptions. So you can go online, create a profile, and they do everything for you. So they speak to your doctors and then they just create reoccurring subscriptions. But now you're not necessarily dealing with a doctor or CVS or Walgreens, you're dealing with PillPack. So it's really cool. The packaging is really modern and fancy and nice looking. So it's just how we're modernizing everything that's going on in the world. Other investments that Nas has done: Parachute, SeatGeek, General Assembly. Again, check out some of these brands if you haven't heard of them. Robinhood, we know one of those financing opportunities. Casper mattresses, we've seen those all over the place. And then Pluto TV. So Pluto TV was actually purchased recently for $340 million. So again, these are all of these amazing investments, venture capitalist things that Nas is doing, where he put his music career on hold. And he's like, let me go make some money in some of these investments. And really one thing that we had saw, he said that really what he's doing is he's investing in people, because he loves to be inspired by people that help him see things differently. So for us, you know, sometimes when we're looking at what can we do or what opportunities can come our way, there are people every single day that are creating businesses and opportunities to serve. And really, it's just about understanding how to invest, how money works. If you do have that capital that you can invest, then, you know, look into some of these opportunities, because who knew that, you know, from mattresses to selling prescriptions online could be so lucrative.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like the trend that I see with what he invested in is things that are very like evergreen and that are going to be needed forever. Like it's not just some trend that he decided to dump his money on. It's things that are in demand, that are needed, and that are going to be needed for a very, very long time. And that's really cool to see, like, because you know, like in the past decade, you've seen so many you know, musicians, rappers, celebrities, sports stars just lose it all, like literally lose it all. Really sad stories sometimes what ends up happening. So that's really talent to have success in investing in all of those different things.
Yeah. And to be continued. Who knows what other investments he's willing and dealing now. But that really blew my mind. Like I said, when we were just having a conversation with family and they educated us, and we're like, wow, let's start following him and seeing what he's doing, because what can we learn from the moves that Nas is making?
Yeah. And let's talk about another guy before we jump into the things that we can learn from these individuals. Let's go to 50 Cent. 50 Cent is another rapper.
Yeah.
And he was part owner, had a stake in Vitamin Water. We remember Vitamin Water.
Yeah.
In 2007, he sold it to Coca-Cola for $100 million.
Dang.
50 Cent, the rapper, who was shot
9 times, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right? This whole persona that we had of him, but 50 Cent, he's not stupid. He's making money. So, you know, what else is he doing outside of his music career?
Yeah, he's in the movies. He's in the video games. He's into film production.
He has his own film production company. I don't know if we knew this, but this was new to us. We're like, wow, that's amazing, because we've seen, I mean, I love Power. He's done amazing in Power and a lot of other films, but I didn't realize that he had his own production company.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And even in real estate. So I think the lesson to learn is we look at some people as being one dimensional. And I think a lot of times when we talk with our clients, they think of themselves as being one dimensional. Like you and I, for example, we could have just been okay with being engineers, which most people are fine with that. But then we put ourselves in this category or a box, and we don't see what's outside of the box.
Yeah.
There's a lot more space and opportunities when you're outside of the box thinkers. And that's one thing that we can understand from people like Nas and from people like 50 Cent, from people like Rihanna, from people like Magic Johnson and Serena Williams. We think of these people as doing one thing or utilizing one talent, but only thing that is their stepping stone to get to the next level, which is the same thing we should be thinking of ourselves when it comes to passive income. We have our day-to-day 9 to 5 that we go to and we work every day, but what else are we talented at? What other passions do we have? Because all those passions, we can utilize this digital age to create passive income from it.
Amen. So moving on, another person that we may have thought was one-dimensional is Magic Johnson. A phenomenal basketball player who unfortunately had some shortcomings with his career, with his diagnosis. That could have completely set him back, but absolutely not. He's doing better than ever because at different times within his career, he's owned shares in movie theaters, in gyms. We hear he has several hundred TGI Fridays, Burger King and Starbucks franchises. And he's also one of the co-owners of the LA Dodgers.
I didn't know that.
Huge. I mean, we didn't know that either. We're like, this is amazing. So I think one thing to be said with just the 3 people that we've named at this point, like think about Nas and 50 Cent. They didn't come from great upbringings, great backgrounds, but look at what they're doing with their opportunity and their platform to continue to fund and invest in others and to serve others. And the same thing with Magic Johnson. After his diagnosis, he could have curled up in a ball and not done anything, but no, he said, what else am I going to do in order to serve and not only create cash flow, but to empower my family and those around us?
Yeah. So he's a basketball Hall of Famer that owns a stake in a baseball team.
That's incredible. And it's so impressive because investing is so hard, and you have to really get educated first to know what you're doing, and for them, maybe they made some mistakes in some of the previous investments, but for them to have such a winning record is so impressive,
Yeah. So do you think it really is hard? Because
I think it's hard because I think it's like learning anything else. It's a learning curve. It takes time. It takes brain power. It takes listening to experts that have done it before and learning from them. So in that sense, it's not easy, in my opinion.
Oh, gotcha.
I would agree, because I think when we first started, we can say it's maybe easy now, but when we first started it can be overwhelming because it's a new thing that you're getting involved in. Just like anything, going to college, going to high school. Can you imagine your first day in high school? That was a little unnerving. First day in college, that was a little unnerving. So, any new thing that you get involved in, there's always going to be an uphill battle. But I think that the thing to also recognize, maybe to what you're communicating, Darius, is sometimes it's just doing the numbers and making sure that the math aligns. And if the math aligns, absolutely go do it. And if you have a gut instinct, if you have a gut feeling, trusting your gut and really going back and forth into understanding the world of investing, interest rates, what your average returns are, what your actual returns are, all of those, and just plugging the numbers in the system.
Yeah. And what I was getting at is I think the hardest thing is to start. The hardest part of anything new is the day before. So whenever you got started with YouTube, like it was easier the next day after you continued working on your craft.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting TikTok and I'm like, it's so hard. It's so hard because it's like I haven't published one video, but But it's the same thing. Once you get into the flow, once you get your first, you're like, yes. And I think more so what I was referring to with the education is like, I have best friends who are really great with real estate and they're crushing it, but I would still never feel like I would just trust them to do stuff with my money. I'd feel like I want them to really teach me and do my homework and research so I could make an educated decision on where to put my money. I mean, that's a big lesson that people learned with the 2018 cryptocurrency boom. Like everyone was throwing money at cryptocurrency, but they didn't know why. They didn't understand blockchain. They didn't understand the technology, the data, the patterns. So, I mean, I think I still have Bitcoin in my, what's that wallet called? But
exactly. No, I mean, you make such a great point, and I'm so glad that you said that, because it's important for everyone out there who's listening. If you're thinking about investments or creating sources of passive income, you better do your research and do your due diligence, and never trust someone else to manage your money for you, because at the end of the day, you care more about your money than the next person. So you have to do your due diligence and don't just jump into something because it sounds cool, because that's where, people get in trouble time and time again.
Yeah. You don't lose money until you lose control of
it. Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So we'll just wrap up. We have 3 more people that we wanted to go over, because again, this taught us something. And so we wanted to share this with you. So Serena Williams. We know Serena Williams is a fantastic tennis player. And what we pulled up for her reported winnings is she's made over $81 million just with tennis. So you would think, I can stop there. But no, I don't know if you all know this, but she's a fashion mogul. She has a line at a home shopping network. I didn't even realize that. And I don't know if you all know this, but she has stakes in the Miami Dolphins and the UFC.
Oh,
like this is
UFC.
Yeah, like this is amazing to just see a tennis player investing in other businesses and a fashion mogul. So again, we're not just stopping at the world of tennis and being, done with whatever our craft is. We have to keep it moving. And for Darius and I, we're always looking at other sources of income and opportunity, because you just never know what's out there. And then the next one is Dr. Dre. We all got headphones on, but granted, they're not Beat headphones.
Well, they're owned by the same company.
Yeah, Apple. Ours are Apple, but I think we all know, how successful Dr. Dre was with his headphone company. But let's just think about that for a second, because Dr. Dre, successful producer, rapper, as well, and all he did was, if he's surrounded by music, and the technology and the equipment, why not make my own equipment and make it better and then profit from it? And then, build it up to a point where I can sell it to another successful tech company. And I didn't know how much he made from selling his Beat headphones to Apple, but it was $3 billion.
Billion?
Billion with a B. Yeah. Headphones. We keep going back to this when people are like, oh, what do I do? What do I invest in? This man made billions of dollars off of headphones. And just look around you, all the tools that you're surrounded by, somebody has to use them, and there's a need. So it's just really understanding the need and how the market works.
Yeah. And utilizing the tools that you have access to, or tools you have around you, like Dr. Dre did with headphones. He always has headphones on with his producing music, and he just decided to create his own.
Yep.
Now, the next person is Rihanna. We think of Rihanna as umbrella. So Rihanna, $72 million in the first month of her company, Fenty Beauty.
72 million?
In the first month.
I didn't even know Rihanna had a makeup line until I went to, what's the beauty store? Anyways, one of the beauty stores a few months ago, and I walked in and her face is there, and I'm like, oh, was she modeling? No, she has her own beauty line.
Yeah.
And she has a 15% stake in this company worth $450 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's partnered with other powerhouses. And right now, I don't know if anybody knows this, but she is the richest female musician.
Is that right?
Yeah. Now, because of her beauty line, she's worth
Like
600
right now on this earth.
On this earth, she's worth $600 million. She is the richest female musician. So she could have stopped that umbrella, but no, she was like, I'm surrounded with makeup all day long. Why not create my own line? And then, you know, partner with other capitalists so that I can launch my business and make it worth billions of dollars. You know, same thing kind of like Kylie Jenner with her own makeup line. So, and these are young people that we're talking about. Is Rihanna even in her 30s? Maybe.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah. It doesn't matter at this point.
True.
But yeah, just to kind of go back and summarize, like we said, we named all these influential people within pop culture, these Black artists, these Black musicians and athletes, because we want to show you that they're not just one-dimensional, and neither are you. You know, we all think that, you know, maybe we're engineers, or maybe we're financial coaches, or maybe we're travelers, but there's so much that we all are and that we're all capable of. All it takes is just a little bit of creativity and faith and being able to do some math to understand how you can make money in this world.
Yeah, and the power of leverage. All these people leverage their entertainment. They leverage their entertainment for, you know, other businesses or to generate revenue in other aspects of their lives. And we should absolutely be taking a page out of their book and applying it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Regardless, they have $100 million. We have $10,000, and we can do the same. We can do similar things for ourselves on our own scale.
Definitely, absolutely, and I think as you know, during this time of the pandemic of COVID-19, just everything that 2020 has thrown at us, the economy just tanking for a second there. I think what a big lesson that we've all learned is what our parents taught us back in, at least for me, back in high school, and, you know, get a degree to have something to fall back on, right?
Yeah.
You hear fall back on, you know, get your degree so you have something to fall back on. Well, I'm not sure if I could go and be a bridge engineer again, because I haven't worked in, I don't know how many years, but to me, what makes more sense to have to fall back on is an asset, like whether it's an investment, another stream of income, multiple streams of income, something that is multiple streams of income, basically. Because if one goes down, you know, maybe you have affiliate products or one-on-one coaching that's not doing so well. Maybe you have income streams from e-commerce, merch, your digital course, or something like that. That's pulling the weight and is you know, leaving you okay financially for a long time, forever, you know? So, and I think my one of my sisters, the one who's getting her PhD, she's starting a channel, because I think she realizes that. And well, you know, first she wants to educate, give value and stuff, but, you know, she sees the income stream opportunity with the channel and just everything you can do with a YouTube channel. So yeah.
You're right. And someone told me this the other day, and I thought it was pretty humorous, but they were saying that we're unemployable. And they're using it from a loving standpoint of just, you know, once you've received a taste of passive income, once you've received a taste of having freedom of time and being able to control your own schedule and create your own businesses and create solutions and create value, it makes it really difficult for you to go back to corporate America, for example, or go back to your 9-to-5, because you realize that now that you've built up multiple streams of income, how in the world could I just go back to just one and being dependent on that? And it was a real eye-opener for Darius and I, because when we were both in corporate America and Darius got laid off, that was a huge eye-opener to us to go, wait a second, that none of this is guaranteed. And what can we do to position ourselves in a better light so that we can make sure that we can control our money, and we know that we're not just reliant on a few, his income and my income. So now it's just all about how many sources of income can we create, and it's become a fun game at this point.
Yeah, and I would say that's something that every single person that we talked about has in common. They may have one thing or one general thing that they started off with, but then they created or generated multiple streams of passive income or spinoffs off of that one thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Every single person we mentioned. So, yeah, I think that's everyone. And so, no, I think it's good if we wrap up. And I thank you guys so much for coming on here and talking about ways to make money online and passive income. Guys, go check out their channel. I have their resources in the links. Check out their channel. Subscribe for more education. It's not uncommon where I'm just kind of sitting and doing stuff on my computer and I just have their playlist playing so I could just pick up a thing or two.
Oh, thank you, Marissa. Us too. You're always in our ear. Literally. But thank you. Yeah, you guys can reach out to us at Wealth Nation on YouTube. We're just building our channel because for us, it's about financial literacy, helping entrepreneurs and go-getters increase their financial literacy so that we can all come up in this world. And really, the only way that that's going to happen is if you understand how your money works.
Yeah.
Yes. Couldn't have said that better. So, yeah, well, thank you guys so much. And this was super fun. And yeah, have a great day. And thanks, guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. And yeah, let us know what you thought in the comments. And again, this was in light of Black Lives Matter. You know, I could also, I haven't done this yet, but I could include resources and organizations to donate. The organization that I donated to, I can leave that link as well. So thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.